Welcome to this week's episode of Those Two Guys Talk Disney. I am Justin Vaughn, joined again by Jay Gibson.
Holla.
On this week's episode, thanks to my wife, Beth, we have a very special Thanksgiving episode. This is the only Thanksgiving Disney movie we were able to find. It was actually a Disney Sunday movie on ABC called The Thanksgiving Promise. The version we watched, somebody recorded and put it on YouTube. We couldn't even find it on Disney Plus. We had to find it on YouTube, and so we also have all the commercials.
Yeah, we got all the 1986 commercials, which was really interesting.
We're even going to talk about them. So this is the only Thanksgiving movie we've actually been able to find. I didn't even know Disney had a Sunday movie. Because that was before before I would have even remembered. I was literally only a few months old when it came out. So I'd never actually seen this movie. What's your overall thoughts of this movie, Jay?
I thought it was really good. I actually did it. I really enjoyed it. I was really surprised.
Yeah, me too. I was actually really surprised. I kind of like this movie. It was different. It wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It didn't really center around Thanksgiving. It did have a Thanksgiving theme. It was leading to Thanksgiving is what it was doing. So I didn't think, oh, well, yeah, dude, we're going to get turkey. Or I didn't know what was that actually going to be about. I didn't even look up the synopsis of the movie before I watched the movie. Literally, Beth said, hey, I found you a Thanksgiving Disney movie. You want to watch it? I said, absolutely. She goes, let me find it. And she actually pulled up Disney Plus. She searched Disney Plus first. She couldn't find it on there. She goes, all right. So she went to the Roku search on her TV. Searched it there. Didn't come up there. I was like, check YouTube. Yeah. She checked YouTube. She found it. And this is literally the only time we've been able to actually find this movie. All right, the synopsis on this movie is Travis Tilby leaps into action when neighbor Stuart Larson asks him to mind an alien goose that's slated to be a part of Thanksgiving dinner. A gentle animal lover, Travis dotes on the bird, feeding it by hand and speaking to it in soothing tones. But as Thanksgiving nears, Travis has second thoughts about seeing the bird slaughtered, and he appeals to his father, Hank, and the others in the community for help in saving the goose. This movie is actually, it's got a few generations of the same family, which is different because I've never heard of that.
Sorry, I was reading the synopsis that I wrote down, and I abbreviated right here. Doted on the bird, and I put TGD. And I thought that said here's, but the word is nears, and the initial stood for Thanksgiving Day. I couldn't even read my own reading for a minute. I was like, what did I have wrote there?
So it's directed by Beau Bridges. But it stars Beau Bridges as Hank Tilby, the father. Jordan Bridges as Travis Tilby. Lloyd Bridges, Beau's father, as Stuart Larson.
And then Dorothy Bridges, Aggie Larson, is Beau's mom.
Yeah, and Lloyd's wife.
And then also they have a neighbor that's uncredited, is Beau's brother, Jeff Bridges.
Yeah. I don't know if it's actually a neighbor. I think it's somebody in town. Because
I know, and the thing
he washes his truck.
It just says neighbor uncredited.
Jason Bateman as Steve Tilby, Toby's brother. Ed Lautner as Coach Gruninger. Beau Sherman as Alec. Courtney Thorne Smith as Cheryl. Okay.
Had Ed Haney in it as Mrs. Sudsbury, which you know her from like Liar Liar or Mrs. Doubtfire.
I got turned. Talk spread out a little bit more. Give me a second to readjust here. Oh, there we go.
It was in Liar Liar, and Haney was the his receptionist in the office or whatever.
Huh.
Yeah.
Let me see. Actress. I was trying to figure out all the different like siblings here. We talked about Jordan.
Talking about Bill Calvert.
Yep.
Jason Tilby.
Yeah, which that actually covers the three brothers.
And Millie Perkins as Louis Tilby.
And that's the fourth kid. She actually tries to help Toby with the bird. But you actually... So it actually starts off... It's duck season. Or goose season, I don't know, whatever you want to say. And so you actually see these people walking in the water... like hunting geese, and their neighbor is actually driving down the road and finds this baby goose in the middle of the road. He picks it up and he puts it in a box and then takes it to his neighbor's house, and he actually asks the older boys if they want to come make some money, and then offers this bird to Toby to take care of. And, of course, he agrees. Pays him $20 to do it. With the idea that it would become Thanksgiving dinner.
Yep.
Now, there's a couple things I actually got to bring up. It happens later in the movie. But he actually does earn enough money to pay Larson back for the $20. Because he obviously doesn't want to kill his bird anymore. And then actually gives him $15 extra so he can buy another bird. Why didn't he just go buy another goose?
I don't know.
And be like, oh, here's your goose. It's already plucked for you.
It's a good question. Very good question. I don't know.
Like, who would have known?
Right.
Other than the fact that this bird will not leave.
And bro, the bird follows him like everywhere.
Yes. Although, to be fair, dude, a few times that actually comes in handy. Because they actually do have a bully in town. But you actually see, before he actually gets the bird, the older brothers are actually in a race. It's some kind of relay race, and the group of bullies is on the other side against the three older brothers, and they're running this race. They end up winning. I said willing. They end up winning, and then the coach, being an a-hole, calls over two sixth graders. One you find out is Travis, and the other is just some random kid from his year. Neither could climb the rope. And the coach, just kind of dogs him a little bit by not being able to climb the rope. Granted, by the time I was in fourth grade, by the time I hit fourth grade, I had already climbed the rope twice in third grade.
I could never climb that rope.
Oh, I did perfectly.
I couldn't do it. I never could.
Oh, I could. I was
never able to.
I don't know if I can climb it now, but I definitely was able to climb it.
Yeah, I couldn't. Never could.
Yeah. Sorry.
Definitely never could climb that damn thing.
I could. I actually didn't have an issue with that. I actually climbed it twice in third grade.
Let me...
But the bullies just... Man, the bullies just kind of suck, dude. They really do. Because, he's, significantly older than Travis, and he bullies Travis.
A lot.
Well, then you find out they're kind of a pain in the butt family because they got a bunch of animals, and their pigs get out and get in their neighbors' yards, tearing up their neighbors' flowers. One, why was your gate open?
Yeah.
But the other thing is, Why are all pigs running out of your yard?
Why aren't your pigs locked up on a pig pen?
Yeah. Then you see them racing their garden to pick all the weeds. I'm assuming they're picking weeds.
I'm guessing so.
So their dad tries, basically makes them very competitive.
Of course, either Stevie or the other brother wins, and then so he walks away. Travis walks off.
I'm pretty sure about this time is when their neighbor stops and is talking to him and asking the boys if they want to come make some money, and he's actually willing to give them $50 a day or $50 to do it. I can't remember whichever it is.
Oh, really?
To come do some bales for him, hay bales for him, and then ask Travis if he can do a special job for him. Pays him $20 to take care of a goose. Raise the goose.
Raise it up and get it nice and big and plump.
So he can, so he can have it for Thanksgiving. One, you do not ask a child to take care of a baby goose for you. They will get attached to it. This is common sense.
So you don't ask a child to take care of any type of pet for you like that. They're going to get attached to it.
If it's a pet, it's one thing. Because you're not going to kill your pet.
An animal.
But if it's an animal you're going to actually slaughter, don't have a kid take care of it. It didn't work in Charlotte's Web. It ain't going to work here.
Well, Charlotte's Web, she wanted to save him because he was the runt. She didn't want to kill him.
But he becomes her pet. Ooh, crap. I messed up my mic.
But yeah, it just doesn't work.
Of course, then you actually see him sleeping out in the barn a lot. And he actually decides to set up a tent.
Well, and the goose can't fly.
Yeah.
It had a messed up wing or whatever, so it wasn't able to fly for the longest time.
Not that it mattered, dude. It was a baby.
Yeah.
Babies can't fly anyways.
And not only did he get attached to the bird, but the bird kind of got attached to him, too. Pretty well.
He became the bird's surrogate mother.
Like you see him walking through town with the bird's just following him, and he picks it up and carries it inside the store with him.
And then sets the bird down, and the bird just kind of runs off. And then he's got to run out after the bird. And
the bird wanders out and goes across the street to a restaurant or whatever. It's steals I think he steals a piece of bread or something off their plate or something.
Yeah.
Freaks him out, and he hears somebody yell or whatever, so he looks around, realizes the bird's gone, goes outside, runs out there after the bird, picks the bird up.
But you see him swimming with this bird. This bird is like his best friend.
Yeah, he's out there swimming in the watering hole. The watering hole, I guess what you want to call it.
Yeah. And you do see him swimming with the bird when the bird's a baby. Then kind of flashes a little bit forward when the bird's bigger. That you see that. But you see him swim with the bird again. And then the bully shows up with another guy or a couple other guys and a couple of girls. And the guys are they're picking on him.
Being jerks.
Just picking on him. Throwing like moss and stuff like that on him. And the bird flies at the bully, gets mad and just attacks the bully. And the bully,
like a branch or a pretty good sized stick.
Hey, after he throws the bird and hurts the bird, he picks up a stick. He's going to kill the bird.
Well, he hits the bird with the stick like a bat and knocks it onto the basement. And he's going to go smash it with it and kill it.
Well, but they get him stopped. He grabs the bird, takes the bird home. They actually have to call the vet. So all the money he's been saving up all summer to
give to
his neighbor
to buy the bird, to save it.
He now has to spend on the vet bill.
Yep.
His dad the whole time is telling him, "You got to stick by your word. If you gave your word that you're going to do this, you have to live up to your word." Yep. I get the dad's point. But there comes a time, too, you got to stand up for what you're actually believing is right.
Yep.
It can't always be just because I gave you my word if it goes against what I actually think. And that's just the truth. So that's my biggest issue with the whole dad thing. And that literally is what his dad's preaching. You have to live up to your word. You have to live up to your word. His dad is promising the neighbor he's going to live up to his word. He has to live up to his word. He has to live up to his word. Come on, Dad. Seriously. It's really not that big of a deal. You're making it out way worse.
Yeah, that's how he was raised.
I know. And that's what he wants his sons to be that way. And I get it. Like, I have sons. I want my sons to live up to their word. Unless it goes against their own principles. And people change. Yeah. So, if it's something that ends up going against your personal principle, but it didn't at the time, like you didn't think it would at the time you started that, you made that promise, there's got to be a line that's drawn, dude.
Yeah. I mean, it's a bird. Like, come on.
I know.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a bird. Like, his word and promise on the bird shouldn't be that big a deal. Like, it's a bird.
Yeah.
The guy can obviously always go get another bird for Thanksgiving dinner.
Well, and okay, so he spent the money he saved up, which was $35, to buy the bird, and make sure the neighbor actually has the money to get another bird. So, like, he doesn't just give him his money back. He actually is going to give him an extra $15 to buy a turkey or another goose.
Yeah.
And the neighbor still won't go for it because his dad told the neighbor, no, he's going to live up to his word.
Man, he worked his butt off for that money, man. Washing cars and.
But he got the money because his brother offered to give him the money.
Well, yeah, I mean, he originally worked his butt for it, washing cars, and they needed him to, like you said, he had to use it for the vet bill, and then his brother came and loaned it to him.
Said he still had enough money to he could loan him the money. With interest.
But he had to pay it back with interest.
And he said, how much is the interest? And his brother's smart, man.
Takes him out.
Takes him out to the rope. He said, that's your interest. So that means he has to climb the rope.
In order to get the money. Because the money was tied at the top of the rope.
Genius.
Yeah, it was pretty smart.
Because he wanted his brother to be able to prove the coach he could climb that rope.
Yep.
So the brother got what he ultimately wanted. He got what he ultimately wanted. So then he actually does go and offer it to neighbor. Neighbor tells him no, that he is going to kill that goose. Well, in that process, the neighbor's house catches on fire late at night. And it's actually the goose that wakes everybody up to where, or actually wakes up Toby. Toby then sees the neighbor's house is on fire, wakes everybody up. They actually run over. The dad actually goes in and pulls that lady out. And she's thanking them. They're like, don't thank us. Thank this bird. The bird's the one that done it.
The bird's the one that saved your life.
Because he woke everybody up, and she hated that bird. She changed her mind real quick.
Yeah. Chester, yeah. Chester saved her.
She changed her mind about that bird real quick.
Yeah, this movie is actually based on a novel, actually, called Chester, I Love You, by Blaine Jorgensen and Brenton Jorgensen.
Yeah.
So there's actually a book out there somewhere called Chester, I Love You, which is what this is based on, which is kind of cool.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
Well, then Thanksgiving Day arrives. And unfortunately...
Well, before that, he actually gets the bird to fly.
Yeah. Thinking the bird's gone. He left. He flown. He can't kill the bird if the bird took off.
The bird flew off. And then they're sitting there.
They're in bed. And they just heard the...
Tap, 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 tap. On the window. And there's the goose. Chester's back.
And he goes, why can't you just go? Just go.
Why don't you just stay away? Because that bird's attached to you, man. It don't want to go nowhere.
Well, Thanksgiving Day, and after he gets in trouble for letting the bird go by his dad.
Well, and then they had that, he goes to that festival.
Yeah.
Where the jerk and his buddy put the bird in a box and steal it and take off with it. And the dude almost ended up driving his car off a cliff.
While the brothers jump on their tractor to chase him down, but they're not going through the roads like he has to do. They're going off-road.
Down the hill.
Well,
try to cut him off.
They cut him off, which is why he turns and almost drives his car off the cliff.
Like slamming
and
like climbs out. He's a bird in the back of the box.
Okay, so I watched this scene. I looked at Beth when I watched that kid climb in the car. And they're telling him, don't go in. One false move and it's gonna make the car go over. I looked at Beth and was like, why did he have to climb in?
Yeah, why didn't you just climb up the back of the trunk and reach in?
Not even that. Why didn't you just go to the side? It was literally right behind the driver's seat, which means he could have walked right up to the driver's side, reached over, opened the box, took the bird out. Didn't even have to go in.
It was for the dramatic effect, man.
I know.
The whole time the jerk's all like, dude, don't, man, don't. My dad's gonna kill me. He like picks up a hubcap and like flings it like a frisbee off the cliff.
I told him, you're lucky I'm in a good mood. But Thanksgiving Day, his dad's actually going to make him kill this bird. Which, by the way, is bogus as hell.
Yeah, it's one thing having him raise it up so that the neighbor could have it for dinner, but then having him be the one to kill it too, like that's kind of bogus. Like, why couldn't the farmer have slaughtered his own goose?
And it was actually his neighbor coming out and stopped him. Don't do this. Don't do this.
Well, he raised the axe or whatever, and the dude grabbed it behind him. But my thing is, why wouldn't the neighbor guy or whatever just slaughter his own goose? Like, why would he make the kid slaughter it too? Like, that's kind of bogus.
Yeah.
To have a kid, pretty much raise an animal up, and then you're gonna have him slaughter it too. Like, that's kind of harsh.
A little bit. But it was actually his neighbor that stops him and tells him, you don't have to kill the goose. Well, come to find out, the neighbor across the street that the goose, alerted everybody, that, hey, this house is on fire. That lady's there. She'd actually apparently called that farmer's wife and talked to her and actually offered him a ham if it meant he didn't have to kill the goose.
Well, didn't something get brought up about, like, chickens? Like little chickens or something?
Something like that.
Like, they could get, like, multiple, like, small chickens or something for Thanksgiving instead of the one big goose or something.
Well, it was ended up being his wife that said, if you make him kill that goose, you better go stay somewhere else or something. And he goes, I don't want to. It didn't seem right that my neighbor had to kill his best friend. That's what made you think that? Not him showing up, begging you to let him keep this goose. It was your wife saying, if you make him kill that goose.
Basically, no more you know what.
Yeah.
That's what that amounts to.
Then, in the end, Chester takes off.
And they all have Thanksgiving dinner together, though.
Yeah.
Like, they're all sitting there in their house. Like, he's there, the neighbor lady from across the street's there. Like, they're all just having one big dinner together.
It's ham. So they're having ham. Then Chester actually takes off. He flies south.
Oh, yeah, because they start hearing, like, a bunch of geese or whatever. Or Chester starts going crazy, so they all go running outside, and there's geese flying by. And next thing you know, you just see him take off. And I'll just watch him fly away. $5 if he comes back eventually.
Oh, yeah.
He's got to come back to his friend. He missed his friend too much.
And
unless somebody else shoots him down.
That, of course, is The Thanksgiving Promise. Pretty good movie. I do recommend watching it. Because we kind of jumped around there a little bit. But you get the overall movie there. But it is actually a really good movie, and I actually do suggest finding it. Look it up on Thanksgiving, Look it up on YouTube, The Thanksgiving Promise. The video, I had to find the one that was the best video, but then it didn't have a great sound quality. The one that had good sound quality cut off like half the screen. So, I needed to be able to see what was going on.
Man, the bully in it really got me, though, because that dude was just straight mean, man.
He was.
Like, rude. I mean, literally, like, hits the freaking bird with a stick. Like, just, like, has no care in the world what he does to anybody, really. Like,
which is why he loses his girlfriend to one of the brothers.
Yeah, he's just mean.
And
like, him and his buddies were going to, like, start stuff with that brother that his girl was with. And then some guy comes walking up and he's like, do I need to call your dad? Now he's starting to call his dad on him. Now I'll just kind of walk away.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Like, he goes out of his way to be mean, and he doesn't need to be.
He's just straight mean, man. Like, violent. Like, he gets violent mean. Like I said, beating that bird with a stick for no reason, just because it attacked him because he was trying to protect Travis, and then putting the bird in a box and gotta go kill the bird. Like,
now, before we actually end this episode, though, I do want to talk about some of these ads.
Oh yeah, some of the commercials. Oh man,
because I actually wrote them down. These are actually the commercials from 1986.
Yeah.
All right, first ad, Pringles, butter and herbs.
Yeah, I never knew.
I'd never heard of this one.
Never heard of that.
I looked it up. They do not have it no more. But man, I would have loved to have tried that.
Right, I bet it'd be really good. Better be real good.
Next up is Love's Baby Pants.
Yeah, I did not know they used to be called Love's Super Baby Pants.
Now, my son actually does wear Love's diapers.
I just always thought it was diapers.
But yeah, it was Love's Super Baby Pants. Next up was Daredevil Cliffhangers. They're cars. They're race cars. But it had like glow-in-the-dark track.
Yeah.
And the cars had like little glow-in-the-dark pieces on them that you could see you could watch them in the dark. Next up was for Disney, the Disney VHS tape of Sleeping Beauty you can buy for like $30.
Yeah.
And have it at home.
Which our grandma had.
True.
Every Disney movie has.
True that. Monday Night Football, Jets versus Dolphins.
Yeah, it was so weird seeing the old football commercials.
I know, right? Well, and the fact that like everything was very boxy, like the score and everything was like boxy, and not all rounded like it is now.
Yeah, it was definitely weird.
Then MacGyver.
Yep.
Ivory Bar Soap. He breaks the bar of soap in half.
Yeah.
Who does that?
Yeah, I have no idea.
Then Bingo Bear. I'd never heard of Bingo Bear.
Even when I used to use bar soap, I didn't snap it in half.
Right. I still currently use bar soap. Now it's Dr. Squatch.
Yeah, I had to send you that picture, dude.
Yeah, I want some of that.
Menards. I couldn't believe it when I seen that. Dude, the whole display, they had the Harry Potter, and then I'm pretty sure they had the Star Wars, I do believe, too. But I was like, is that Harry Potter? That's really Harry Potter.
Yeah, I want to get them. Then they had Extra Gum.
Extra.
Go back to the Bingo Bear one real quick.
Yeah,
though.
that's a...
They kind of made it like it was like a Teddy Ruxpin bear.
Yeah.
But then, like, at the bottom, this is only a puppet.
Yeah, a puppet.
So you're just talking to a puppet. How's that better than a Teddy Ruxpin doll? At least that when you throw a tape in it talks to you. You just got to answer, like, you got to talk to it as it's normal, you know. The Extra Gum commercial was funny.
Now, I mean, if you had Jeff Dunham for a dad, he could make the bear talk to you.
Black & Decker iron. It's the iron in the fire station.
Yeah.
The guy's ironing his uniform.
And then, like, the bell goes off and he just leaves it. Sits it down there and just, they leave. Like, okay.
Because it shuts off.
Yeah.
Just to avoid a fire. Dang, that was really loud.
Turtles in a half shell.
Turtle power. Fluffy Dogs and Kingdom Chums.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I didn't know either of those.
Yeah, that was cartoon before my time.
Tonka Trucks.
That was cool.
I actually had one of them, the Bulldozer.
The old metal Tonka truck.
Yep. Later in life, my son got the Tonka metal dump truck. Actually, he got a lot of them. But I actually had the metal Bulldozer. And I also had another, like, pickup truck, Tonka truck, which I played with more than I did play with that stupid Bulldozer. National Dairy Board. So it's telling you to eat more dairy. A car I didn't even know existed, the Chevy Spectrum.
Yeah, I didn't know.
I didn't know it existed. The car they actually showed in the commercial was a sedan. But you actually look up the Spectrum, it was a hatchback. A Butterball turkey.
Yeah.
Man, then people are down in that chick making the turkey. Oh, it's her first bird. It's gonna be dry. It's gonna be dry. It's gonna be dry. Then when it turns out juicy, oh, I knew it would be juicy.
Dude, they were down on her so bad.
McDonald's Lego sets. Yeah. Now this commercial is actually funny because you're actually at a country club, and the parents, the three dads are standing around, and they're talking about how they invested in their kid's future.
I bought my kid a boat. I bought my kid a plane or whatever.
And then he starts talking about how he bought his son a boat and a plane, but he wants the helicopter, but he's gonna have to wait till next week for that. And then you just come to find out it was the Legos
and the Happy Meal.
Food for Less, Food Warehouse. I'm assuming that's probably something in Las Vegas. I've never heard of that.
I've never heard of it either. I'm gonna assume it's kind of something kind of like a Costco or
yeah, I would assume
Sam's Club would be my guess.
Mervin's, which was I don't remember now. I thought it said something about like food and some other like household stuff, like hardware and stuff. Dakin Toys or Donka Toys, Dakin. Stuffed animals.
Yeah.
For anybody that doesn't know, it's just stuffed animals. Velveeta cheese.
Yeah, Mexican.
Yeah.
I did not know Velveeta cheese had an actual Mexican cheese.
They do, actually. They still do. FTD Flowers. Visions Cookware. Now, this is another one I actually had. I've seen the cookware, but I didn't know what it was, kind of thing.
Yeah.
Like, I've seen them in a bunch of, like, thrift stores and stuff like that, but I never knew the cookware. Beth told me that, I was like, that's actually really cool cookware. I'd like to actually own some of that. She goes, we did growing up. Apparently, her parents actually owned a whole set of it.
Nice.
Crave cat food. The TV show Dads.
Yeah, I'd never heard of that.
I hadn't either.
I didn't know what that was. I was like...
Okay. Did the actual Lego commercial. Which really... There's not that much difference between knockoff Legos and normal Legos.
Yeah, really not.
But man, they really made it out like Lego brand Lego is so much better than the knockoff. McDonald's stockings that were Feifel.
Yeah.
Liberty coins. I've heard of Liberty coins.
I've heard it.
I didn't know McDonald's gave out Feifel stockings for a while.
I didn't know that.
But I did hear of Liberty coins.
Yeah.
Listerine. I don't know anybody that likes the yellow Listerine. That's what was the only thing in that commercial was yellow Listerine.
Yeah.
That stuff was gross. Gung Ho, which again, I've never heard of this TV show.
Me neither. Before our time.
About Chinese people coming in, taking over a factory. And now they gotta deal with the Americans that are in this factory. I don't know, it's weird.
Before our time.
Safeway for a free turkey. They're giving free turkeys back to America.
Gobble gobble.
Slice. Which I have actually had Slice soda.
Right.
The lemon lime had pretty good lemon lime soda. It was then replaced by Sierra Mist. Then Mist Twist and now it's Starry. But it originally started as Slice. That was the Pepsi version of it. I did not know Slice had an apple.
Yeah, I didn't know that either.
I knew they later came out with an orange and a grape.
Right.
And I think a strawberry for a time, but I knew about the orange and the grape and the lemon lime. I did not know about the apple. So I've never had an apple slice. I think that would actually be kind of cool. Finesse conditioner.
Got condition. What little hair that I had there?
Mine's all right here.
I got more hair on my chin than I do my head.
Juicy fruit gum.
I need to shave my head again, actually.
I just shaved mine.
I need to shave mine again. About time. Juicy fruit.
Now this will be our second. I don't know if you consider this just a single commercial or if it was actually two commercials combined. Both of them were Black and Decker. Regardless, one's for like a mixer, like a hand mixer, and the other one's a food processor.
I think that was all just like one commercial showing two different appliances, in my opinion.
I agree, but like I said, I didn't know if it was two commercials or just a single commercial.
I'm pretty sure it was a single commercial just showing two different appliances.
NutraSweet. And now, mind you, it showed this NutraSweet in a bunch of different other products. So I don't know why it needed its own commercial, but apparently it needed its own commercial. And then I was confused. I'm like, what is this commercial?
Yeah.
Like, it never actually just says NutraSweet. Nothing like that. It literally, you only know it's a NutraSweet commercial because it shows the bag of NutraSweet.
Yeah, because I was the same way for a long time. I was like, what is this commercial for? I don't know what's going on. I don't know what this is. And then I seen the bag, I'm like, oh, okay.
Another TV show called Nazi Hunter.
Yeah. Definitely had some doozy TV shows back in there.
Yeah, I'd say.
I'm not sure what's going on there.
Then, of course, they had a Hanes commercial. Hanes versus Fruit of the Loom.
Of course.
To be fair, I prefer Fruit of the Loom over Hanes.
I prefer whichever one's cheaper at the time.
Which is usually Fruit of the Loom. Rice Krispies.
Yeah.
To be fair, them commercials really haven't changed much. Now the only difference is you got the little animated guys coming out the box and, well, snap, crackle, and pop.
Yeah.
Then another one of the Dakin commercials for the stuffed animals. I don't know why we needed two of them, but apparently we did.
One wasn't enough.
And then AT&T, where every one of them phones were broke.
I didn't realize there was an AT&T commercial back then.
Every one of the phones broke. Like, all the competitors are talking about how there's always something wrong with their phones. But you don't get that with AT&T. And if you sign up now, we'll give you $20 in long-distance calling. And it's like, what? That's weird. And the last one, another commercial for Fluffy Dogs.
Yeah.
A weird commercial. They're interdimensional traveling dogs.
Yeah.
That act like humans. I don't get it.
Yeah, definitely. That was another one that was definitely before our time.
I do suggest still watching it, though. Like, some of the commercials are actually pretty funny to watch.
Yeah.
Or just interesting to watch, for that matter. I didn't know about the Chevy Spectrum. Beth didn't know about the Chevy Spectrum.
I didn't.
Obviously, your dad did.
Yeah.
Tyler said. I actually told Tyler I didn't know that Chevy made a Spectrum. He goes, "Oh yeah." He goes, "I only know that because of my job." Right. Because he had to go through. He had to learn about the history of Chevy and stuff. Right. So it's like, well, hey, I didn't even think about that, man. I was like, that's actually interesting, though. But yeah, I didn't know that he made a Spectrum. Like I said, I've seen the cookware. I did not know they were called Visions cookware.
Right.
And that they were actually meant to go in the microwave and be able to cook on a stovetop and in the oven and like test it to like 180 or 800 something degrees. Like in the commercial, it actually melted a metal pot in it.
Yeah, I was like, wow. Like,
so,
like,
I didn't know that was a big thing right then.
Like, why are we melting a metal pot?
Again, though, this did come out in 1986. I wasn't watching TV then. You know, if this came out at Thanksgiving time...
I wasn't even born yet. I wasn't born until 2 years later.
Yeah. If this came out at Thanksgiving time, I was what? 6 months old?
You just laying around in your own poop.
You know.
In your diaper.
So, I wasn't even watching TV then.
Maybe you were laying around in your low super pants.
Maybe. I don't know. My mom really liked Huggies for some reason. But yeah, like I said, I didn't know about this stuff.
Yeah, it was definitely kind of neat to see some of the commercials. Cause it was like, whoa, what is that?
Yeah. Like I said, the Pringles butter and herbs.
I wish that was still around. I would definitely try that.
I would definitely try it.
I bet it'd be.
I actually looked it up because I wanted to know if they were still around. Because me and Beth were actually talking about it. Like, this would be really cool to try.
I bet it'd be really good.
I'm sure by now it would have changed. Like, the flavor would have changed a little bit. But still, like, it'd been really cool to see, try it.
Right.
Unfortunately, it's just gone. It was kind of cool, though, to see the difference, though, in some of the packaging then compared to that same product today.
Yeah.
So, like, Love's then, the box was red or pink. Today, it's purple.
Yeah.
Their diapers are actually purple. Well, it's white with a bunch of purple on it, I should say. Not the diaper itself is purple. Like, now it has Bluey on it. Back then, it didn't have the characters on it like that. It was just a white diaper.
Even just seeing, like, the difference in the football compared to what it looked like now.
Yeah, because now you got everything's rounded. You don't have that, like, sharp, boxy stuff.
It was crazy.
Yeah, it was kind of cool, and I liked seeing that. I've always liked watching old commercials. I actually like watching old movies. Because a lot of the times it's like, yeah, it really was like that in that time. Because I remember as a kid, how it was for us. So it was like, yeah, some of that really did happen, and it made sense. Well, obviously, I wouldn't have known. It's really
cool when you're watching older movies, and you see an actor who was young back then, but you recognize him from this day and age when they're older.
Like Jason Bateman?
You're like, whoa, I know that guy. Yeah, like Jason Bateman,
That was the thing, is me and Beth hadn't actually looked up the movie and seen who all was in it. And she'd seen Jason Bateman, but it didn't, like, click there, And she's seen him. She goes, "Is that Jason Bateman?" I was like, "Yeah, that's Jason Bateman."
Well, and, like, Bridges.
Jeff Bridges?
Travis. The one that plays Travis. When I was looking up the movie and I seen that name and I seen his face, I'm like, wait, why does that sound familiar? I'm like, why do I know him? Why does he look familiar? So I had to look him up, and then I was like, that's why, because Mom watches Rizzo Wayne Isle and he's on Rizzo Wayne Isle. I was like, I knew I recognized it, and that's why. I'm like, that's crazy.
And this movie really did have that entire family.
Of course, I wouldn't think about the fact that his name was Bridges, so I wasn't making the connection that he was related to Beau Bridges or Jeff Bridges. Like, that wasn't, like, I never thought about that before until this. I'm like, oh, okay. Makes sense. I see it now.
But yeah, it's just a whole family affair.
Yeah.
Because even Jeff Bridges was in it. Only a little uncredited cameo appearance, but still.
He was there.
It was Beth that actually pointed that out to me. I didn't know he was actually in it until she pointed it out. Oh, start packing up here. We're finishing up. After this episode comes out, this will actually come out Thanksgiving week, obviously, as you guys know, because, well, that's when it came out. Happy Thanksgiving.
Happy Thanksgiving.
I hope everybody eats plenty of turkey and ham and all your fun favorite stuff.
Have a safe, happy holiday. Safe, happy Thanksgiving.
Come back with us next week. I'm not 100% sure what we're going to do, but since it's entering December, it's going to be Christmas themed. All of December will be Christmas themed. As far as I know, they don't make a New Year's Eve or New Year's Day Disney movie, but if there is,
I don't think so, but
if there is,
we'll find it.
Beth will find it.
Yeah.
She searched long and hard for this movie. She will find it. But no, it will be something Christmas themed, whether it's Santa Claus, Home Alone, Noel. There's a few other, like Christmas Carol. There will be something Christmas themed. Follow us on Facebook now. Those two guys talk Disney. We did just start the page. Give us a like there. YouTube, give us a follow, subscribe. Same with over on Spotify. Follow us there. We're not on everything else yet, but we will be. And we'll be back with you guys next week.
Holla.